it looks like somehow we are able to get everybody up and running right on time. So we are going to be getting this thing started. I already have Florida Man's first pick. I will not put up Florida Man's like his team card until I find out who Steller is putting up first. That way there's no, somebody getting more information than the other one. But we're going to have Florida Man's team on player 1, and we're going to have Steller's team on player 2. This is going to be a 5v5. Let me check who we've got here. So Steller has Joe, HyruleHeroJoe is his ace, and then you have Daodin and Exander and Vesper and Cambosa. I don't know who's staying out from their team just yet. Florida Man gave me his roster, and so you've got him and Blue, and then you also have AppleBoom, Nox, and Ben. So that's going to be the team, not necessarily in that order for Florida Man's team today.
I'm excited. Should be pretty good.
Yeah, I don't know who's going to pan out here. Steller's team primarily East Coast versus Florida Man, who's primarily West Coast. That's why we're playing on the Iowa server today. So everybody's trying to do their best to make sure that the connection is as good as it can possibly be.
That's definitely at least one time when Parsec is like super crucial. Like coast to coast.
Sheesh.
You're in for a rough time if you want to play net play.
It's legitimately harder as an East Coast player to play somebody from the West Coast than it is to play somebody from the UK. Like, I will play against somebody like Neon from the UK much quicker than I'll play against somebody from the West Coast. It is such a waste of time.
So, Parsec coming in the clutch, just helping out.
Who do you think Florida Man's going to have up first?
That's like the first pick is usually the most important one.
Yeah.
So I think that it's wise to send somebody like that is not very momentum based and that is like super solid that he can like you think he can take like out a couple of people. I would send Ben first if he's available. And yeah, I would definitely send Ben.
I have just been told. I've known who was going to be on Florida Mans, but I've just been told Steller, so that we have everything locked in, and it's going to be Nox.
Okay,
Nox is going to be the first player on Florida Man's team. Let me get this. I hope it's okay. Nox, if you're hearing this, just let me know if Nox is not good enough for you in terms of like having your name on the overlay. I'll change it. It's just that your name is very long, so it's difficult to fit in here. And on Steller's team, Cambosa. So we've got Ivy versus Cassandra.
Oh wow! Oh, I've seen that matchup not so long time ago. Partywool versus Saying. It was a bit rough. I think Cassandra is actually a fairly good pick, especially if you can get lots of meter, so you can pop that soul charge, and you know at that point you can whiff punish Ivy from the full screen with some explosions.
Yeah, I would bet that a large portion of it also has to deal with the stage. Like, it depends on which stage they get, because this is about as quintessential of a get in versus keep out type of matchup. Because I wouldn't really consider Cassandra, other than when she has Divine Force for a split second, to be all that powerful when it comes to the mid-range.
Obviously, yeah.
I would consider Ivy to be, well, she's got to be the weakest when it comes to up close, other than maybe like Aswell with no weapon, and that's about it. So it's really going to be a matter of, can Cambosa stop Ivy from doing just a whole bunch of stuff across the screen. Cambosa's going to have to get very comfortable with the G button and deal with the obstacle course. That is, okay, Nox prefers Nox, so hey, I did it.
That works out.
Yeah.
I think, like, if you willing to go that route, Cassandra can do some pretty cool stuff with her stances when she would like crouch dash with a I believe it's a horizontal GI into a sidestep. Partywool does that a lot. You can get a little creative around Ivy's zoning, but in the end it's definitely more about hey, I'll block this. I'll approach slowly because Ivy has some setups. If you try to like just run in, she will grab you. So you kind of want to like pick your spots when you want to move. But as soon as Cassandra is in there, her like supreme frame advantage,
Infinite frame advantage, just constant.
Just lets her run loose.
I had to do the Ivy S rank run, the dreaded Ivy S rank run, and I think I ran into Cassandra 3 times. I maybe won 1 round. It was immensely difficult because I'm trying to think, like, I don't even know if any of Ivy's evasive moves are strong enough to get out of, like, 4-4B. I just don't know if 4-4B is really going to be good enough to get away from a large bulk of her kit. 2-1-4B, I don't know. I don't know how they... You guys got a command grab. You got a command grab over and over again.
Yeah, the command grab is such a powerful option. I feel like whenever I fight Ivy that doesn't do any command grabs, it becomes so much easier, like, mentally to play against. Like, whenever you have to think about that command grab, it just makes you mentally drained, and then you, on top of that, you eat lots of damage if you ate it. So without a command grab, it's hard.
Yeah, it's and it's such a tough thing that Cambosa is going to have to deal with, because frankly, the best way to deal with Ivy command grabs, especially from a Cassandra's point of view, is to not hesitate. Is to continue to press with a variety of buttons to try and hit him out of it, tech crouch under it, all that kind of stuff. Because the second, it's very similar to Astaroth, where it's like the second that the command grab is powerful enough to make the opponent worried, I mean, it did everything. It did everything it's supposed to do. Then suddenly it's like, oh wow, now Ivy has all the time to back up, has the ability to do all kinds of moves that are typically too slow for the Cassandra to really have to worry about it. So, you know, the second that Cambosa is running up to a pseudo mid-range, maybe like 2 character lengths away, and blocking, oh man, Nox has everything going for him.
Sure. We actually get a fairly small stage, which I think will work in Cassandra's favor. What's bad about this stage is the ring out potential is pretty powerful, especially also like back turn Ivy, back ring out. Okay, we start with a low. 6 BB,
2-2 Ray is potentially going to be very scary as well. Gets Divine Force pretty immediately, so it's really going to be all about, like, can Cambosa keep it? No, see, I knew the second that Cambosa did an AA and it got black, Nox's eyes flared up wherever he was playing. It was just like, oh yeah, you're going to go with highs against me here? I don't know.
Yeah. I think the biggest issue... Oh, nice Wild Rising B in a similar situation. Okay, I like what Cambosa is doing, like, just playing it very, very patiently, gets crap for that, but that's fine.
Yeah, I kind of wish he was just using... I mean, it's not like, you know, Cambosa has to try and keep the pressure on with highs. Like, you can go with, like, a 3A and 1K, like, stuff that can potentially will still beat out the full crouch 1B, like, before it even comes out, you know. So, you can definitely tell, like, both players have a clear game plan. It's going to be a matter of, like, Cambosa's probably going to be in the driver's seat most of the time. Gets that fantastic high hit, but unfortunately it ends up... Yeah, the Tamanegi just immediately Wild Rising B out of nowhere.
Oh, like Cassandra's Wild Rising B is such an important button. I feel like in this matchup as well, it just... Oh no, Doug.
Yeah, I don't know what happened
there. Trouble. Okay, so he just getting hit and hit. Oh, okay.
He did not duck that appropriately, by the way. That would have hit if it was in range. Doesn't use the Divine Force. Dead to his... Okay, this is a battle of, like, the Wall Rising moves right now. It's all about Wall Rising B versus full crouch 1B.
I think at certain point, Cambosa was not willing to block. Okay, gets a small reset. Breaks the grab. Ooh, that was a nice Wall Rising B. Such an evasive button.
Hey, yeah, you know, tit for tat, right? You gotta go with those slow lows. Ooh, man, nice fantastic ability to get that full range shield to try and beat out Ivy from that range. Typically, Ivy players are not comfortable or expecting a Cassandra player to be able to challenge at that kind of range.
But no punish. Oh, gets the grab. I like that Cambosa has 2 meters. I would soul charge almost immediately. Okay,
Yeah.
gets a back. Is that a back grab or is it front grab?
That's a back grab, I think. Oh, no, not like that, though. Oh, no, okay. I thought he was out of the burst range, so that's A-okay. You can get in pretty much for free. Yeah, even at mid-range, Nox is going to be scared. Oh, ends up trying to go for an RI, a little bit too ambitious there.
Oh no, is that it?
That's gotta be it, right? He's in soul. Oh, he wasn't in soul. Why, he didn't even need soul charge. Okay, there you go.
Yeah, he just did a combo.
Cambosa was just way too ambitious with his soul charge pressure. It's one of the classic blunders of an SE6 player, is that the second that you get into soul charge, number 1, you only use soul charge moves, and for 2, you only try to figure like a mix. It's important to remember that even if your soul charge makes your character powerful, which obviously it doesn't necessarily mean that you should just only use those kinds of moves. It makes you a bit too predictable.
I definitely agree with that. It actually, yeah, that's just like an ugly setup. It kind of works like different for Keelik just because he loses life, but when you have 2 meters with a regular character, it's okay to just stand and see what they're trying to do. Nox was... Oh no.
I forgot about that thing from, like, old Season 1 and stuff.
Nox is just running rampart, hitting everything right now. And
he tries to go for a ring out. It was honestly not that bad of a bet, considering what the life disparity was like. But, yeah, Cambosa is just having a real tough time playing Soul Calibur right now.
I think he was just a bit late, that's it.
Yeah.
But... Yeah, nice sidestep into 2-2-A, nice ring carry.
Yeah,
that will not be it, but nice setup.
Oh man, he got the roll forward. If he had done just immediate 6B, he would have gotten the Divine Force and everything. Yep, a very classic thing that all Ivy players do. The opponent activates Soul Charge, time to grab them.
Nice 3-8K, 3-8 plus B. Into a soul charge move. I like that.
Yeah, trying to be a little bit more reserved now. Not necessarily, I like this. No! Okay, fine. Good job. I could have sworn there's a guaranteed death there, but hey.
I think A6 is guaranteed there.
Or AAA.
Or just like AAA.
There's a lot of stuff. You don't have to go for another grab attempt, but he gets the round nonetheless.
I think you can try 2-2-A there. Yeah, just like interrupt the string. Okay, nice soul charge from the Nox. Good position and wall pressure. Okay, nice soul charge.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily give you... Unfortunately, these soul charges are done like outside of the burst range, so Ivy's still in the driver's seat here. Yeah, he's still got to block it. No, that's plus. Not going to be dead yet. Ivy still has a bit of soul charge, and we're going to use it for a grab. Fantastic stuff. Nox takes the first set of this team tournament.
It definitely felt like Cambosa is not very particularly comfortable in this matchup.
Yeah.
Whenever he was trying to mesh it out, he would get counter hit, and whenever he would try to just like block and play a bit more reserved, he just got either unblockable or grabbed.
Yeah, he never really got the rhythm. Once he was able to finally get some level of aggression going, one of the things that I think Ivy is very good at is you just have this series of panic buttons that you can wheel that if you're right about like you're probably going to be wrong about them because they're relatively slow, but if you're right about them, then you're going to deal such an overwhelming amount of damage with things like the full crouch 1B, the 2-2-A, all that kind of stuff. And so it can be very difficult to try and deal with it. And especially on a stage like this, I just really feel like Cambosa needed to be a bit more loosey-goosey and try to figure things out a little bit more. So Steller is going to be throwing out Exander next.
All right.
Makes sense.
I feel like going Survey, especially Survey like Exander, is pretty smart against Ivy. He just has such a good buttons with the nice reaching buttons that IGDR with punish if needs. Like he can do stuff from that mid range that Cassandra might be struggling with a little bit without a Divine Force. Survey just excels at that range and definitely can dish out damage on his own.
So I do want to mention that I am aware that Joe is going to be the person who's going to be sitting out of this team match for Steller, and he's typically the ace, so Vesper is going to be the ace this time around.
Okay, so they're going Dratheon route and having like a nightmare gauntlet
Yeah.
at the end of the team battle, which
Oh,
I
are we
feel
going
like
with Hilda? This actually makes so much sense. I think this matchup is amazing for Hilda. You want to talk about whiff punishing from full screen? Jesus.
That is very smart. I definitely feel like Hilda is a bit underrated character in this game.
Yeah.
Well, I don't mean underrated actually.
Underplayed.
Underplayed. Yeah. There's not a lot of players.
It makes sense. She's a DLC character, so DLC characters typically, unless they're overwhelmingly powerful, are typically not that heavily played.
And I feel like Hildy is one of the harder to play as well.
Yes.
Like she's not that easy, but she's extremely effective, and I feel like she is effective in this matchup.
Yeah, you're doing huge amounts of damage, a better mix, and it's just also the fact that like Hilda has the ability to compete at Ivy at certain ranges where she has to be super scared of everything that she does, even from a far away range, because she can get in there very quickly, assuming that certain charges are up. Yeah, just sitting there blocking, waiting for the panic button from Nox to come out, makes total sense. You just gotta make sure she's still like one hit away from getting what she needs. Now you're one command grab away from death. I knew it.
Yeah, it's I feel like command grab, especially in wake ups, is not as powerful because you can just like, you know, press G and mash a button. Oh no!
He tried to get in there. I think he was just a little bit too early in his attempts to try and get out of there, but that's about a third life there.
Nice little punish. From what I see, Nox is always docking on the wake up, and it's at the same time, Exander. Oh, nice little punish. That's good. Oh, nice dodge
you're out.
into
Wow.
a ring out.
Yeah, it's still very terrifying stuff. I think Hilda has some of the best tools for a while rising punishment on a grab like this. So
yeah,
very, very scary all the ways around.
Kind of preemptively goes with that charge 6B.
Just counter hit timings.
Go with a
Exander
nice counter
immediately
hit.
throwing in like the safest mid in the entire game.
Nice damage.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy damage, but you're one hit away, so you gotta make sure. Yeah, decides to spend the soul charge. It's a free bar anyway.
Yeah, if he loses, he gets it back. Okay.
Ooh,
a little bit of
first time he actually
nice
completed the
block.
string and it gets blocked. Nox infinite clutch mode? No, never mind. Full crouch 1B. Very powerful and damaging, but not that fast.
I like what Exander did. Just went straight to soul charge at the beginning of the round. That usually is a pretty good badge, especially with 2 bars.
Yeah, especially with 2 bars and 2 rounds to 1, because frankly, if I'm on Exander's side, the fact that Nox spent a bar here is a win in and of itself. He's not getting that bar back, Exander is. So that's going to be a very big deal, assuming this goes down to the last round. It kind of looks like it is. Hilda, definitely with a huge amount of damage potential, could potentially bring this back pretty... Okay, here we go.
Nice 3B counter hit into a pretty good carry. Okay. Pretty good.
God, that combo did so much more damage than I expected it to. Ooh, instead of punishing the launcher, we ended up going for a command grab for death. Very shades of Astaroth over here.
Yeah. I mean, it's not the worst idea, obviously.
Ivy's punish on that was not going to kill, so I understand it.
Half-life. He did get a reset because Nox tried to... Okay, nice sidestep. A little bit of a soul charge move. Okay, soul charge of his own.
Soul charge versus soul charge. Honestly, Exander, I think, could kind of play it passively and just wait for his own soul charge to come back up. He's eating a little bit of chip damage, but gets a huge amount of damage here. A wall rising A as a trade-off, but okay, Exander has this additional bar. He could use it at any time, or decide not to use it. Apparently.
Round escape. Okay.
Exander has to use this bar, come on. No punish? Oh, kind of greedy. Greedy to try and go for it, and now you're going to have to deal with it. Okay, so it ends up just being a counter hit jabby type thing.
Yeah, it's like, this is one of the situations where we kind of discussed it with Ivy, right? She forfeited a punish, Nox forfeited a punish for like a grab attempt, and it worked fine. Usually, I'll be against that because if you're punished, Nice grab.
Sorry, it's just every once in a while these things come in and they're just like hella brutal. No punish on the 3B Exander.
Yet again, no
losing
punish.
a lot of teeny tiny damages, and this isn't like, you know, like how Ivy will sometimes drop a punish where like she's not fast enough, doesn't get that heavy of a punish. Hilda getting punishes. I mean, he's probably charging a move. That's why he's not getting like these small. I always have to remind myself of that, but I don't know, man.
What I was trying to say is that a lot of times. Wow. Okay.
Is he dead? No, we didn't get the combo. I think he was dead at the full. Oh my god! A little bit of spaghetti from both players here right now.
A little bit of spaghetti, but Nox is getting on top with just like all of his damaging options. Nice combo from Exander.
Yeah, I think the spaghetti definitely favors Ivy because it means that people are not getting full optimization on stuff, which means that the overall amount of damage that Ivy can dish out is going to win the day.
Okay, nice jumping move.
Oh, doesn't stay calm for the rest of the string. He could have gotten a massive punish there. Oh,
okay,
boy.
Runs into it.
Exander's just falling for all kinds of stuff right now. Jesus, that was so scary.
Okay, decides to use a bar. He will get it back like we spoke, but he just immediately dies.
Yeah, if he was correct about it, this really seems like a counter-hit timing battle between these two players right now. Just in terms of, like, the person who's winning isn't necessarily the person who's, like, outplaying the opponent. They're just both kind of like, alright, we're both going to throw out a move. Let's see who ended up pressing the button quicker.
Yeah, nice duck. I definitely feel like what it seems is that Exander went with a couple of grabs that got ducked, so now he throws all the mids, and they're getting blocked. So I can definitely see like some frustration, you know, like, hey, he guesses every time everything's right. Is he dead?
No, he's not dead yet, but he's like dead to like a 1A or, I mean, literally anything. So this is gonna be
any
tough.
poke. Yeah. Okay. Nice grab. Something to, you know, get some meters, start something, and no.
God. Like, Exander had that one string where he realized that Nox was rolling a lot and did that one move. I don't know the Hilda input, but like the you know, the two spin that's like totally safe and hits ground, and it's like the move that they always use when they think that you're going to stay on the ground or roll. He did it once, it worked out well, and then he hasn't used it since, and Exander keeps just getting his Oki rolled on, so it's tough for him.
Okay, nice counter hit. You were right. This is like a timing counter hit bot.
Yeah, that's kind of all it is right now. Like, they're not able to space each other out. They're not able to necessarily get each other's timings all that well. So it's just a matter of like who's gonna press first.
Nice little grab. GI. Okay, nice roll forward into grab of his own.
Neither of them are really able to get anything on their Oki either. Like, this is like a huge deal. The jump kick's still one of the best jump kicks in the game. Runs right into the grab. That's got to be like the fifth grab that Exander's just run himself into. Gee whiz.
And funnily enough, we haven't seen much of the charge 6B from Exander. Like, we saw it, you know, a couple of times. Not necessarily like, oh, nice grab. That animation looks so cool. So I kind of wish he would use it a bit more.
Yeah, wow, he ends up trading his grab with Ivy Command Grab. Very smart punish from Exander to continue to sidestep for a million years to ensure the additional hitbox that I always get caught by is not the thing that ends up killing him.
Yeah, in this game you kind of want to like... Oh, it depends on the move. Sometimes you want to step and don't continue stepping. Sometimes you want to...
Yeah, it's easily one of the most frustrating things about this game.
Yeah.
Oh man, is he out? No, just in.
Call out. Like, the amount of damage was insane.
Yeah, the Spear Regalia, which he still has.
Oh, nice call out. Is that it? Okay.
Ivy continues to back up. Yeah, man, Hilda's one of the very few characters that can still challenge Ivy from that range.
And that's, I feel like, why I was mentioning charge B6 is that Exander feels like he's playing a short-range character. Whenever Ivy does something, he runs in.
Yeah.
And either gets counter-hit or grabbed. Oh, no. So...
Yeah. Nox able to punish the sidestep and also getting a lot of like slow lows and stuff like that. Exander's getting mad frustrated.
Yeah, I would just like use a bit more range tools into a command grab. Perfect for Nox.
Very vintage Ivy setup again. Player of the opponent activated soul charge. Time to command grab them.
Nice soul charge. Definitely in range. Definitely can get something started. Okay.
Ooh, very scary. Okay, bar for bar. This is very similar to the round that Exander won the last time. But now this is going to be the set point for these two players. Has any command grab been broken yet?
No.
Like, any of them at all? Well,
No.
it doesn't look like it's going to start now. I think he's dead. And Nox is going to take his team up 2-0 so far. Starting off as a potential OCV here.
Exander started so well, and I definitely felt like maybe frustration played a bit part of it, but like we discussed, at a certain point, he just started running in, trying to counter hit with buttons, and obviously Hildy buttons is so good, but you don't really use your ranged options to make Ivy hesitant about, you know, throwing buttons twice in a row instead of just like making you block 6A hold and then like block because you can charge B6 her or 6BB, something with a long range that she has to respect.
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff that I think could have changed for Exander's favor. Both players were not really able to get a lot out of their knockdown Oki, which isn't as big of a deal for Ivy as I think it is for Hilda. And as you were saying, there was a lot of frustration, a lot of grabs that Exander just ended up running himself into. And boy, oh boy, I wish that I was this good at, I don't understand why Nox is able to grab Exander this amount of times when I'm going to say he breaks 99% of all the grabs that I throw at him, so I don't know what's up with that. Nox has to show me how to do it. Maybe the fact that I don't have a command grab in the same vein is the reason.
Yeah, I feel like the command grab plays a big, role in this, and also just the threat of a command grab. Because with Ivy, you kind of like, knowing the command grab, you try to always break forward, right?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe you can sneak a couple of the back grabs just for some damage. Why not?
Yeah, it's always like for Ivy, it tends to be like the way that I do it and the way that I think a lot of people do it is you're naturally just breaking forward at all times, right? Because at any point this grab can come out from like mid-range and it's always a forward break. And the second that... And because the grab break window is so small, you actually do sort of have the ability to... You're breaking a grab from Ivy, and right off the bat you don't know which one it is, and then because the forward break didn't work, you can then delay it and potentially get the back grab break off of a regular grab because the grab break window is much bigger when it's the non-command grab version.
Yeah.
And so it's a pseudo-OS that you can potentially do, but it's not the easiest thing in the world to pull off.
I definitely feel like that is something that requires a lot of practice and a lot of presence of mind to do. Yeah. And it is tough.
I've been trying to break Ivy command grabs for about 13 years now, so that's why that's why it's something that's ingrained in my soul.
I'm actually getting fairly decent at breaking Ivy command grab on the wake ups. Right. Because on wake ups you can just like hold G and just mash.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, is a good habit against Ivy, especially on certain knockdowns when you leave like right under her toes. It's pseudo OS as well, because at that point, if she does 3B or something like that, you're still blocking it, and if she tries to command grab you, may always not get it 100% right, because sometimes you just smash through the window, like it happens sometimes, but it's still better than try to react or predict it. But JJJ, tell me about the next match. Amy versus Ivy.
So, right before I do, I just want to get a handful of things out there, just so you guys know. This is being done on Parsec. As you can tell from the bottom left, we overwhelmingly got our donation goal for all the Parsec Boom matches. Hopefully, for the rest of the Boom League, even if every match is being done on Parsec, we'll have enough money. But in case you feel like we don't, if you guys please consider donating so that we can pay for the Parsec servers that we use for these Boom League matches. All the rest of it will go to the Matcherino that I believe I have. have link match arena. There we go. Yeah, so that'll go to, the rest of it will go to donating to the Boom League, which the winner of the entirety of the Boom League, that whole team will be splitting that amount of money, so please consider donating if and when you get a chance to. Now, Daodin versus Nox, Ivy versus Amy. I think this is a matchup that is overwhelmingly in Amy's favor. It is a challenge that Ivy has to get in. She's it's not difficult for her to get in, and then when she does, Ivy completely falls apart. The command grabs are not even all that powerful because Ivy, like, I think Sophie's the only character that spends more time tech crouching than Amy does.
Yeah.
And then the second you get red, Ivy doesn't even have damage on you, really. Like, it's really tough. The way that I treat it is you just do kind of like awkward, stilted pressure, similar to what you would do potentially against like Aswell with no weapon, where everything he has is just too slow. And you just kind of like, you attempt to plant yourself right in front of Ivy's face and force the Ivy to make a big decision like the one we just saw to try and keep you from maintaining. And you're just sitting there. Like, you're Amy, and you're just kind of like sitting there in Ivy's face, making the entire game completely about what you want to do. And, you know, Nox was able to get the first round before Amy was able to get roses, but now you have full Red Rose Amy. This is going to be tough.
I can definitely see that. Like, whenever I play as, like, Kilik versus Amy, a lot of people would say, like, hey, just keep her out, right? It's, like, easy way. But
yeah,
I feel like Amy has so much moves that can just, like, propel her forward. Oh, nice challenge on 6-6
The fact of the matter is, with Ivy versus, or Kilik versus Amy, I actually think that Amy's better at keeping Kilik out than the other way around, to be honest.
I completely agree with that.
2-2B is really good. Yeah, that's the way it is. The whip punishing is actually in Amy's favor, with or without red. Oh, didn't expect the Rose to actually connect. AMS A plus B actually combos out of that, so that sucks. Yeah, you're going to try to use 2-2A on Amy? Good luck. Okay. Ends up getting the round, but yeah. Ivy 2-2A, pretty useless against Amy. There really isn't, like, any move Amy has that gets hit by it and gets the lethal hit condition. She either is recovering in tech crouch, recovers too quickly. It's very difficult to use, but, you know, with all that being said, Nox is in the lead here, and it's, oh, if he had done it, I think it would have, I don't know. The AMS does tech crouch, so I don't know which one it would have worked on.
Oh, it looks so funny. Daodin is in a bit of trouble, though. She does have 2 bars, so she can potentially steal this one. Oh, no.
Yeah, I think... instead, no, doesn't end up going for the combo, and again doesn't confirm that the Rose actually hit, so doesn't end up getting like the full amount of damage here. Has to spend the second bar.
Soul Charge yet again.
See, this is
nice evasion.
Amy's Soul Charge is really good, but it does not actually provide her with a lot of stronger ways of getting in. So really the soul attack is the way that you typically want to use it, because then the second that Amy is in and constantly knocking you down with additional pressure, I mean, Amy's Soul Charge is incredibly impressive, but Amy just plainly activating Soul Charge, Ivy's going to be kind of fine with. You don't really have a way of getting in to a significant degree.
I see. I feel like one of the biggest problems that Daodin has is the same thing. Nox is keeping rolling on the wake-ups, and Daodin is just going with the setups for death traps or something like that. The Oki has been lacking. And whenever you miss your OK opportunity, if you whiff, you're getting whiff punished. Even if they're laying on the ground with something. Oh, nice.
Got a punish, sort of.
I feel like it's good because she's getting Rose. Oh, no.
So ends up sacking the first round, but the last game, Daodin had to use the second round in order to get the full red. Now she already has the red straight up. So there's a chance that this is going to be a little bit easier. But yeah, unfortunately ends up sacking that first round. Ends up getting the bait, but doesn't confirm. This is one of the hardest things about playing Amy, in my opinion, is that hit confirms are really important. The difference between an Amy that's able to hit confirm everything and one that's just not is kind of what you're seeing here. You're getting a whole lot of buttons and everything, but you're not necessarily getting the maximum amount of damage you can. Getting a reset there. 4AA doing literal no damage in guts. Okay, full crouch 3K ends up getting it. This is the kind of thing that Amy wants to do, is effectively melt the health bar of the opponent with a variety of just smaller, quicker buttons.
I feel like so what I end up doing in my games is if I see that I'm not hit confirming something super properly, or my timings are a bit off, I would go with something easy. So she can opt to do like just a 3BA, you know, as a bait instead of like 666B into confirm. So she can like simplify it for herself. A bit less damage, but it's more than if you whip your stuff. Oh, nice dog. No punish though.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It's always kind of difficult because if you go for the less damage options that Amy gets when she doesn't have roses, without hit confirms, that means you're not getting roses.
Oh,
and so
yeah.
it becomes like a huge deal. But she's had red roses for a while now, so you can play in a sort of, shall we say, JJJ way, where you can't hit confirm anything. And you end up, okay, the parry ends up working. Soul Charge versus Soul Charge right now.
It is actually so funny. Every time Nox's opponent pops Soul Charge, he's kind of like hard committing to stepping.
Yeah.
I've seen that versus Cambosa, a bit versus Exander, and now versus Daodin. I really wish people would use a bit more punishing horizontals, make him think twice about sidestepping, but now we get grabs yet again.
Who is going to
Okay,
ends up
nice
spending the
Soul
bar?
Charge.
I kind of like it. It's just you had him. You could have done a 2-2B, that would have killed for sure. See, okay.
Oh.
Something that I think is happening a little bit too much here is that Nox is going for a frame trap situation, putting Ivy at frame advantage, and then going for a high. That does not work against Amy. That is not a thing that Amy really has to worry about. You have plenty of things like 3A and 4A to kind of keep the opponent from actually being able to utilize the frame advantage. And that's got to be like the 5th time that Daodin has gone into AMS pressure. And is that going to kill? I think that's dead. Is it?
I think it is.
Kinetic Clash? Yeah, that is. Nox.
I kind of want to say steals it, but
I mean, that is a very quintessential situation that Amy gets into trouble for, with going into AMS pressure and then going for a vertical. So the AMS into the AMSB, like 6BB into AMSB, beats mashing. Yeah. That's really not something that Ivy players do all that much. I'm not even sure that Ivy has a button that can actually mash there. What Ivies always tend to do is sidestep, which is going to beat the AMSB. So you have to go with something else. You have to go with an AMSA. You have to go with potentially not going into AMS at all. Potentially AMS grab, though you can sometimes get screwed up on the tracking. But yeah, Nox 3-0 on his way for an OCV, and now we are at the ace, which, as I said, Joe not able to join us this time round, so what we're instead going to do is we're going to have Vesper.
we have a Nightmare gauntlet, which I'm always excited to see. I don't know, like, for some reason, I have a lot of fun watching Nightmare players. I
have a lot of fun watching Nightmare.
Watching
Nightmare.
Absolutely hate playing against Nightmare, but
Yeah.
watching him do his stuff, it's just like, oh.
Is there a chance he goes Setsuka? Because I know Vesper's been playing a lot of Setsuka recently. I don't know if he would do it when, like, he needs to, like... So this is one of the big issues when you are down in a team tournament. So you'll pick a character. You're not picking Aswell. Don't pretend like you're Joe. Okay, it's going to go with Nightmare.
Okay.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Vesper recently coming off of his NLBC win against the dreaded Dexus.
Oh, yeah.
Gets a pretty awful stage in my opinion. Well, I don't know. I mean, Terror Charge you can probably get pretty easily. Your ring outs are actually better than Ivy's by quite a large margin. So I don't know.
You might get a Terror Charge. The second thing is, I feel like to punish a Terror Charge, Ivy might need to commit a bit. Oh, nice Terror Charge actually, Bobble. Okay.
3k on hit into just like, you know what, screw it. I'm just gonna do this. Fantastic.
No wall
there.
splat. Good
Yeah.
whip punish, but like, unfortunately no wall splat. I think that's what he tried to do. Oh,
Yeah.
that didn't combo. I'm not sure that combos at all.
I think it does. I don't know much about Nightmare. I haven't played either of these characters. I've played Ivy, but that's really not the same thing.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
no
I'm not sure that
punish.
Nightmare can actually punish 6
Yeah,
HPV.
I'm not sure about that either. I think it
it's
is
just
minus 12.
Yeah, I think it's just 12. But how does Ivy do a button that actually beats armor? In order to do that, you actually do have to go to something that's relatively unsafe. That was the weirdest thing in the whole world. just bubbling out of nowhere, and it just like barely gets punished. Huge punish with this
Nice
drill.
whip punish. Yeah, I feel like Nightmare, because he has that drill, even without a terror charge. Oh, no wolf
I think
light
that
yet
actually
again.
was a punish. Ivy wall rising B after Nightmare wall rising AA. I think it is that unsafe, but I'm not 100%. Ooh, the 1A catching the tech trap. Yeesh McGeesh.
The range that Nightmare has, and like, yes, he is relatively slow, but he hits like a truck.
Yeah.
So I feel like Ivy matchup might be okay for Nightmare. Oh,
I think something that Vesper is able to pull off a little bit better than what people like Exander and Daodin were is that when Nox is whiffing from full range, he's getting a huge amount of damage. He's getting a drill, he's getting some sort of like big hit. One of the other things that Vesper has already done so much better than Exander and Daodin is that he broke a command grab.
Yeah. Yet again, the story continues. Nox is just hard stepping versus opponent's soul charge. And it's been working so well. Just like steps are so on point for Nox.
Oh man. I appreciate the attempt. I appreciate the attempt. You are not Thermidor though, so it does not work out.
I feel like if there is a time you have to go for a dropkick, that was it. Like if he got a lethal hit, he might have got
greedy.
Nice.
Decides not to go for the kill. Does he get a kill here? I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah, you just roll a bunch. I feel like Nox could have just kind of gone for a significantly more break attacks there, just because everybody rolls in that situation. Does he get a kill? No, he is okay. Wow, was that planned? Please, Vesper, please tell me that was planned. Where you just didn't step the soul attack correctly to get a drill, you instead just did the bubble. I don't know. I'm gonna give it to Vesper, but that was insane.
that was the best thing. Like
he intentionally didn't space out the soul attack correctly, so that he could just do that.
But
because I don't think the actual whip punish would have rung out. I don't think it would have done it. He needed the additional like forward momentum from the burst actually working. That's crazy.
Nice punish. Nice duck and punish. Risky. The 3D could have ring out, but sometimes you have to make a risky play.
Ooh, okay. And so finishing it is not able to. Nox not able to thread the needle there. This is the first time that his potential OCV is being challenged. Ooh,
Exander did have a game on him.
Yeah, it's true.
But like Vesper seems much more comfortable in this matchup than the whole team before him. And
no punish on that.
Punish.
Ooh, I don't know. Nightmare reversal edge options, all of them except for the B, obviously, massively unsafe on block.
I think massively unsafe. I think there's like minus 12, minus 14.
They're more than minus 12. I think they're 14, even 16 sometimes. Somebody in chat can correct me, but I feel relatively confident that Nightmare REK is even more than minus 4. I think it might even be 16.
Okay. Yeah, but the important part, there was no punish
at all. Yeah, that's a pretty big deal. Did you mean to hop there, Vesper?
Jumping.
I don't know.
Okay. A bit odd. He has 2 meters. As a Nightmare, I would soul charge.
Oh, for sure.
Away.
Yeah.
There's no
you build meters so
to
quickly. Nightmare and Astaroth are those characters that you just soul charge just because. Like, you just do it because, like, well, my characters get more powerful. Wow, nice walk around there. Gets a huge amount of damage here. Except he totally doesn't.
I think he tried to do for some, like, bigger ring out carry. Oh, wow.
What a weird exchange there. Does he get a ring out of this?
I think he does.
Just enough. Wow. Vesper tried to get a GI, was correct about the timing, but the hit didn't actually occur, then tries for an RI, ends up getting wrung out for his troubles. That could not have gone... That was the worst exchange I've seen from Vesper so far.
That is true, and that could do like a significant damage to his momentum.
Yeah.
Well, let's see how he does about it. Now, Ivy doesn't have a soul charge of her own. Oh, no duck.
There's a punish. Okay. I mean, there's some sort of a punish, yeah.
Nice grab, but super tech rush is under it. Oh, nice break.
Yeah, Vesper's actually been one of the people who's been the most successful at breaking Ivy Command Grass for sure. Suspend the bar? I respect it.
No.
Okay.
Okay, sure. What a bait. Whip
that
the flapjack into an immediate wall rising attack. What a sound quality play.
Nice move setup.
Yeah. Immediately
Okay,
gets
nice
there.
bobble.
Nope, yeah, Ivy can challenge it there. Now you're gonna have to deal with this. Immediate 6-6 kill.
Is that?
I respect
Okay,
it.
no.
It's a tech
good.
crouch. It beats
Yep.
the high. It beats the high unblockable that a lot of people do.
Into a grab? Okay.
He has almost another bar, and he has Terror Charge. So the Terror Charge on block is going to give him the next bar. So I think that's
Yes.
what Vesper's plan is like, make Nox block a drill or whatever into Soul Charge. Okay, well now you don't have to worry about it at
He has a
all.
soul charge of his own, which is a pretty big deal, obviously, as a nightmare. Okay, ends up soul charging. I would run away. Okay.
It looks like Vesper's just all about just trying to like get in here and do this. And Vesper ends up taking Nox out, removes the potential for the OCV. So good job. Good job to Nox. Getting his team hella in the lead.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's just like having anyone win 2 games is already like huge value,
Yeah.
but having someone win 3 games,
Yeah, triple.
it's just insane. Especially if it's your first, first player. Something that I was telling at the beginning of the stream, the first player is one of the most important picks that you do, is because that is the person that can generate the most momentum for your team.
I'm noticing that Florida Man in chat said Apple is bathroom RQ, and I initially thought that was rage quit. And I was like, is this a new version of rage quitting? Is that you just like destroy your own bathroom? That seems rude. That affects nobody but yourself. Shoutouts to the people that I used to know in the Smash community who, on a rage quit, would absolutely destroy their own controller, and I would sit there like, man, couldn't you just given that controller to me, and then I could just have another controller, because you just destroyed yours. Like, and those are hard to come by, especially nowadays. So I don't know.
The rage does that to you. I don't like to admit it, but I once lost something that I felt I should not lost,
Yeah.
and I hit my table really hard.
Sure.
On top of my hand hurting for a few days, I have a dent in my table
Right.
that actually makes my mouth not function properly if it goes over the dent.
So it's just like
And-
constantly just a sign of your rage.
Yeah, I kind of switched to layout of my table so the dent is not in the path of my mouth anymore. But it is a good reminder of you not to be like that. You know, like
Yeah.
I've been much more calmer since that dent, because I'm like, I look at it and just like, you don't have to be like that, man, anymore.
Yeah, special shoutouts. Rest in peace, Gil. You were a great man. And it's unfortunate that we're not going to have more of those Break the Desk tournaments. They were very important for the whole community. But I have... At some point, maybe I should take a picture of it. I'm looking over... Yeah, I've got 3 holes in my wall. And I've got this blanket that is like situated right underneath the wall. And it's got 5... What's that? No, yeah, 6 broken PlayStation controllers. This is the place that I throw controllers at, and I was aware enough of myself that I was like, I'm not going to be able to stop myself from doing this, so instead I'm just going to put a blanket there so that maybe I can hit the blanket instead.
I have a friend that does throw controllers from time to time, and his like self-consciousness improvement that he worked really hard to not throw controls at his monitor and instead just throw it at the wall.
Nice, smart stuff. Wall's
Yeah.
a lot better at handling that kind of thing. Have you ever thrown a controller in a tournament match?
Actually, yes, I did.
Yeah, I have. There are 2 instances I can think of where I've thrown a controller after I've lost. But luckily, those are years and years and years ago, so I like to pretend like I've become a much more mature person and can handle loss a lot better. But hopefully nobody finds out that that's a massive lie.
Mine was a little funny because I'm a stick player, and
Oh, sure.
I always played on the stick. And there was a Tekken Tag Tournament 2 tournament or Tekken 7 tournament.
Right.
and my stick was not compatible with the system for some reason. It just didn't work, so I had to use someone's controller. And I can play controller much more than I play stick. So I got 4th or 3rd place, and I was so mad at the controller I threw it. And yeah, it was not really good. But let's go to the match, because we've been talking about throwing.
Maybe at some point I'll talk about the time that Omega XCN threw his stick down so hard after he lost to me he almost broke my foot. Anyway, Vesper versus AppleBoom right now. Hilda versus Nightmare. We've seen Hilda earlier on stream. No, nice step! Not a lot of people... Wow, Nightmare can actually step that? I thought he had like the worst side step in the game. I guess it's actually a lot easier to step that than I thought.
Sometimes it's much more about precision in the step, like the timing of the step, and not even like
like if you're just mashing on a string like that, there's a chance that your first 2 or 3 inputs are going to get eaten by the fact you had blocks done of that first attack. And so if you're just going to be like, okay, I'm going to block it, wait for it to dissipate, and then just sidestep, it's pretty solid.
Oh, that was...
Oh, okay.
Okay, nice whiff punish.
Hella nice whiff punish. I like it.
Yeah, with the CE.
We're mounting this comeback.
He has a bit of... Oh, okay.
Is it just me, or is it kind of weird that Hilda doesn't get any regalias when she uses her CE? I feel like that's weird. But, you know, that's just me.
It might be nice combo.
Oh, AppleBoom's dead. There's no way you get out of this guard break. Yeah, it's impossible. I don't know. Can you wake up RI there? Maybe?
Maybe you can try to do it. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's tough.
I really like... You could have seen that Vesper is like super familiar with the matchup. Knows all the correct steps and stuff like that. And I like I was saying, Hildy practice... Oh, nice step on the AppleBoom.
Yeah. Both of these players are getting huge amounts of damage on these knowledge checks. It's always a big... Less Than Lee is just absolutely giddy right now because he loves string defense.
Oh, yeah.
As the Spear Regalia... man, AppleBoom is just dropping so many opportunities for Spear Regalia combos, and it's just not working out. Either, like, there's, like, she's hit-confirming something, but, like, there's some sort of weird situation with the exchange that keeps the combo from actually occurring. So it's going to be Terror Charge versus Spear Regalia. Block stun into plus frames, Okay.
That is something you cannot give a Nightmare. You cannot give Nightmare a fighting chance. You have to kill him when you have the opportunity.
Yeah.
And if the opportunity slips past you, nice sidestep yet again. The sidestep from both players have been super clutch into really, really nice damage.
They've both shown a lot of knowledge about the opponent's character. It's really just been about the fact that, like, when AppleBoom is getting an opportunity, she's flubbing it about 40 to 60% of the time. Vesper's, as far as I can tell, is not. He's getting the full amount of damage that he can get in these spots. AppleBoom ends up evening out the rounds. They're both are very evenly matched so far overall. Uh-oh.
Oh no.
I would normally consider this lag, but that's obviously not the case. Oh,
okay.
Was that... Okay. Oh, it's on my computer, so maybe nothing happened for the stream. I know it's still... Can you see?
Yeah, it's a bit... Okay, now I can see normally.
Okay, I think everything is okay. Hopefully the stream didn't have any of that, but, like, everything went black for me for a second there. I'm still live, right? Everything's fine?
Yep. The stream is fine. It was the video of the...
Okay, sorry everybody, a little bit of technical difficulties on my end. Hopefully that doesn't happen again, and then I'll potentially try to find a fix, assuming a fix is necessary were to occur again. But hopefully that's just a bit of a hiccup. Anyway, AppleBoom, nice 2 rounds to 1 against Vesper.
Ooh, I think she's out. Okay, maybe not Nightmare.
Yeah, I don't think over that wall.
Do the half walls, yeah. I don't know, the half walls in this game are odd. There's like certain moves that just like propel you through it. You don't even wall splat.
Amy 3BA straight up rings out if you're against that wall, which is really funny.
Like Evil Kilix 3AB also just like straight up.
Oh yeah, out. I'm not surprised by that, but that is funny.
Yeah, it's just like that. I was expecting something like that. Okay, a lot of blows. I like
half
that.
life off of that Oki right there. That was great. That's the kind of stuff that you don't get to see in SE6 all that often. It's just small hits over and over again. But this is the first opportunity that Vesper's had to get some meter. And man, both players getting a huge amount of damage for the fact that the opponent is just trying to sit on the ground. Gets a fantastic whip punish. Is there no way to sink meter into that? I guess not. Okay.
It just backs away, which is, I feel like it's pretty smart.
Okay. A fantastic whip punch. Is that going to seal the deal? Yep, okay,
nice
spends
charge.
the bar. How are you going to do this? How are you going to get away from the 3k, 1k? Walks around. Doesn't space it correctly. And that's going to do it for Vesper. Vesper is trying to make this a reverse OCV.
She just like approach and like try to grab him by the hand, and he's like, nope. No hand grabbing allowed. That was unfortunate.
Hill to grab range not the strongest at the moment. Alright, I need to figure some stuff out because my computer is still being a little bit weird on me.
Okay.
But hopefully everything will be a-okay.
Yeah, while they change players. A short
Yeah, I'm still able to use everything. My second monitor is just, like, destroyed itself, so I don't know what's up with that, and I'll figure it out later. But the next person we've got is going to be Ben.
I have not seen Ben play in a while. I always like how he plays, so I'm excited.
Yeah, he's always pretty wacky.
Just to let you know, you're not streaming to me.
Yes, I will hopefully figure this out. Ben typically gives me all kinds of issues if I tell him that, or if I get his name incorrect. But yeah, hold on 1 second.
Yoshi versus Nightmare is actually a pretty common matchup, just in general. And talking with Boom, the Nat K is one of the, like, most important moves in this matchup. Doesn't necessarily beat the armor, but he has other stuff to beat it. But it just like evens out the playing field with the Nightmare. And I don't know, Yoshi is pretty cheap. Oh, nice pull-up with the
we got about as neutral of a stage as possible, but honestly, both characters are probably the best ring-out characters on the roster. Oh, tries to get a fantastic whip punish. Are you able to see the stream now? Is everything okay?
Yes,
okay,
yes,
great.
Everything is
Just
fine.
wanted to make sure.
Oh, nice full crouch 3k into
It's
a
very
bit of
scary
damage.
to put Yoshi into like lockstone while he's crouched because his mix-up actually gets a bit stronger. Able to sink a lot of meter into a combo like this. Oh, we're going for the unblockable. Ends up getting it. Oh,
Okay,
is
nice
that? I don't think that's it
wake-up
yet.
grab.
It is just enough. Ooh, boy.
This is one of the things that you don't expect a lot, is like somebody forward attack into like an attack or a grab. But I actually seen a lot of people do that. Okay, RE's there. I would not say it's the best option. Maybe for Nightmare it's a bit better. Oh, wow,
Both of them had like the hugest kind of launch. It's not very often that we see a trade like that happen. That's really funny that both of them were in the air for like 15 years. 6KK just out of nowhere. Is that going to seal the deal for him? No, it's just going to get almost half-life. Gets a fantastic size up, but he doesn't get anything out of it. Oh boy, Ben had an opportunity for the ages, but he was probably like a kid in a candy store where he couldn't figure out which punch he was supposed to go for, and then it just all fell apart.
This is one of the things where Ben is like in the middle between online and offline play, where he sidestepping something correctly and he tries to like confirm what he stepped and how to whip punish it, but because he might be just a little too slow for online environment, even for Parsec environment, he gets like an unfortunate counter hit, and it's like happened twice. While I was talking about that though, he got this round.
Yeah, being very sticky, just kind of allowing Vesper to effectively kill himself in a lot of those opportunities. Vesper trying very hard to maintain the momentum. He gets his solid terror charge without using any bar. But this is really where Ben tends to excel, getting these huge duck punches. I mean, that was half-life just off of that one wall rising hit.
Into an Oki situation, got his meter back. Okay, Vesper has 2 meters. Decides to pop Soul Charge immediately and plays pretty passively. I kind of... Oh, no.
Yeah, so we're not going to have a Soul Charge here. Oh, no sidestep, but ends up getting... Okay, that's a punish. All right, ends up getting. I really feel like that punish could have sealed the deal, but I guess what with the fact that everything was a little bit weird there for a second, he decided to just go with like the punish that first came to his head, so he didn't botch another punish like he did before. Vesper is getting a lot of momentum with just trying to like keep Ben out. Ben is running into a lot of stuff, and that's the way that Vesper is potentially going to win this.
Although, like, whenever Ben gets his like big read, that's when he get a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
Those wall rising punishments were pretty killer. It's also important to note that I hope Ben remembers that the wall rising A Brave Edge did not get sidestepped. And if that's the case, then you just have free pressure whenever you want. And it looks like Ben is going with a little bit more med K. He's going with a little bit more mid-range kind of stuff.
I feel like Vesper is a bit lost. He's just standing there.
Things are just whipping, like, all the time.
Yeah.
And Vesper doesn't know how to, like, recoup from that.
Maybe just, like, try to play a little bit more... You know, cover more options with like more 9Ks, okay. Gets whiff punish with his troubles, more 2-2As, more 4-4A hold, something that is, you know, fairly slow, yes, but hard to avoid, and even on block, you don't really... Oh, nice armor!
I had never seen that interaction before, that's really cool.
That was so cool. Okay, full crouch 3K.
Oh, does he get it? Okay, well, I guess he does kind of get his punish, huh?
Jumping A, a bit...
I imagine it was supposed to be an HEA or a 2-2A, I can't tell. That's not dead yet, is it? Wow, okay, never mind then. Shut me right the hell up.
Ooh. Nice little, like, a whiff punish.
Yeah, Ben has definitely adapted his moveset to, like, things that allow him to get in a little bit better, and I think that's really the killer. Vesper definitely seems pretty lost, baits the unblockable, but doesn't actually go for it, forces Vesper to go into Soul Charge. Oh man, this pressure here is a little bit crazy. Ben just kind of like trying to mitigate any potential for a ring out. Oh wow, that's not going to be a ring, or maybe it is. No, it's not, okay. Okay.
Okay.
Everybody going for the online tactics right now. Jump kick versus jump kick, and I am not surprised that when it comes to jump kicks, Nightmares is the victor.
Yeah. Okay, nice AGA. Let's see if that round... Okay, nice punish on Ben's part. Steals a bit of a meter. Oh no!
Fantastic punish there.
It's nice
huge meter
positioning. Oh wow,
For
that
really?
actually reached.
Oh, if that rung out, that would have been the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life.
That would be like the coolest moment. Is that it?
No, I don't think he had the angle for it. This is so weird. Okay. So many weird things are happening.
It's just like Ben has full reign of everything basically. It definitely felt like Ben was super into the driver's seat, just doing whatever he wanted, and at certain points, Vesper just looked, you know, lost.
Yeah.
And
Vesper was really only in control when he was able to stay at this mid-range where Ben was running into things, and then eventually Ben started doing things like Med K and whatever that one move is that's a ridiculously stupid move where he just kind of like rolls forward into like a break attack vertical. That stuff is crazy. But the second that Ben kind of like changed up his moveset, it really seemed to go in Ben's favor. And now Ben has to do the exact same thing again on a different kind of Nightmare. A little bit more of a reserved Nightmare that will also kind of like throw out 6's KK just like as a straight up thing that he does sometimes.
Yeah. I definitely hope that, you know, while Vesper was playing, Steller like watched the match and tried to figure something out, because in the Vesper's case, it seemed like Nightmare move list was what limited him from hitting Ben. You know, like every move was stepped, every move was like properly punished or evaded. So, like I said, I hope that Steller could come with something up that will force Ben to either stop like sidestep ducking as much, and just like straight up block a bit more.
Yeah, there's a variety of things that could end up happening here that might make things a little bit better.
But man, anyone can do it, and Steller can do it. He's a team captain for a reason. No pressure.
Is the stream still good for you? I'm working some things out over here.
Yep.
Still good? Fantastic. And I think I figured it out. My second monitor was just like, I'm not working anymore, and so now I'm trying to run a stream on one monitor. I gotta say, that's very difficult.
It is. Just like, straight up. Okay, now the stream ended. For me, at least.
No problem. This is expected. I planned everything out, and this is 100% what I meant to have happen, and bam, should be back.
Oh, yep, it is.
Ah, everything's coming up Millhouse. Okay. Ben versus Steller. Nightmare versus Yoshi. Presumably Ben is going to continue with the kind of offense that he was going against Vesper, right? I mean, I think that would make the most sense. I think you just plant yourself into the mid-range, you do things like Med-K, and you try to get in there, and then you just be very, very sticky. I think that's the plan.
Be very sticky, utilize the extreme evasiveness that Yoshi has with lots of his buttons, like tech jump and tech crouches. Yeah. Punish accordingly. Yeah, nice punish.
Steal some meter. That makes sense.
Okay.
Oh, yeah? We're just going to do a 2A? Rude. What a rude guy. You could potentially sidestep and get a massive punish here, but hey.
I feel like sometimes just 2A there is enough.
Yeah, sure.
I liked it there. A bit of a damage, but...
It takes off the terror charge as well, so it's like, you know, you're definitely getting somewhere. Now, one thing that we haven't necessarily seen yet is that I find that Steller likes to grab a lot, because, you know, Nightmare has a huge amount of verticals that are very scary. Ben also ducks a lot to get, like, his wall-raising A. So, is that going to be a situation where Stellar's going to have to try and adapt to what Ben's traditional adaptation is when he wants to get a huge amount of damage? I don't actually know.
I feel like one thing that I kind of already see, you know, Steller doing a bit better than Vesper is he's sidestepping much more.
Yeah.
And Ben throws out those verticals. Nice whiff punish. Drill would probably be a bit better, but you take what you get. And B-side A.
Yeah, you can already kind of tell Ben's propensity for ducking that Steller has already like taken up on. Did he mean to jump there? That was cool.
I'm not sure. Although knowing Steller just a bit, I think he likes just neutral jumping for fun. So
yeah, sure.
That definitely might have been a thing. Okay, nice 6Ks. Like 6Ks are coming. Like he's using it so well, and additional armor in it. Like,
that was fast.
It was.
And like, I think Stellar's ability to make doing Yoshi pressure really awkward is the thing that's kind of like keeping it, because like the 6Ks are coming after he like rolls slightly to the right and then immediately gets up. He very rarely rolls back, stuff like that. And so like something about Yoshimitsu pressure is the fact that he has an option for dealing with whatever the opponent does when they're on the ground in front of Yoshi, like in stance. But he has to choose. Like, he doesn't have an option that beats multiple options of the opponent, so he has to choose one that is going to do well against the specific one that Stellar's going to choose. So if Steller continues to make things awkward, it could be really, really good for him.
Nice punish.
Yep.
Okay, and like, in the Vesper's case, those 6Bs had been stepped while Stellar's been hitting all of his buttons pretty well. Okay, more neutral jumps into a setup of a flapjack.
Ben is just looking really cold right now, which is kind of crazy because he just played this matchup. He seems like he's just feeling kind of awkward and doesn't know what to do, but he clearly did know what to do before. If he had just done the exact same thing against Vesper, why would that be a bad idea?
I actually think he tries to do the same thing, but Steller is a bit more on point, a bit more odd with his timing. Oh no! And
tried to whip punish a little bit too soon. Okay, Benzo ends up getting, I think, his first round.
I've been there when you just get constantly hit with Yoshi 3B into 3B, and you expect that low to come, and you're still ducking, and you still get 3B. Oh,
yeah, alright.
Nice punish.
One of the only moves in the entire game that is whip punishable by Yoshi CE.
Yeah. Pretty good damage, and nice ring positioning, although Yoshimitsu kind of lacks meter to, you know, for a Brave Edge, but it was a good position nonetheless. Okay.
Stellar's just taking huge chunks of damage every single time.
Nice GI.
Ah, that's it.
6-6K. That should be it, especially by the...
No! Oh,
Okay.
if you had one shot, do not miss your chance to blow, because opportunity comes once in a lifetime. Yo! Who won?
Ben!
Oh, Ben was the one who won. Wow,
wow.
dude! I honestly couldn't tell. What a series. Oh, man. Is
nice
this going to
lethal
spell
hit.
doom for Steller? Oh, no. Steller, please. Say it ain't so. He still has 2 bars. Ben still has those lethal hits ratcheted up. He doesn't even look like he needs them. Oh, Steller, you had this. Oh, no. I mean, it's still 1-1, but that is tough. That is so tough to get past.
The one damage that Steller lacked on his combo.
And it's not even like he
Orchestrated.
dropped it. He did the right combo as far as
Yeah.
as far as I know. Ah, that stinks, dude. Oh,
just
Steller,
that-
please. Please don't let this happen this way.
I feel like what Steller kind of needs to do, and I like what he's doing. He's trying to slow it down
Yeah.
because Ben has been on a tear. Ben's trying to push all the buttons, and it is pretty like important to just like try to slow it down and start over
Yeah.
in a sense. At the same time, Ben is still on a tear. Steller is still kind of not like slowing him down that well. Okay.
He's trying to do it with movement, and it's just straight up not there, because he also need blocks, and it sucks because, again, he was doing the correct stuff. It was working for him, and then it's just like nothing now. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, now he's just getting hit by everything.
Yeah.
Okay, nice grab attempt, bit of damage, no sidestep, decides to soul charge. I respect that.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh no. Okay, at least get something out of it. Obviously could have damaged it, get much more damage.
Oh,
Okay,
man, Pogo.
hog stick, yeah, just like too good.
Now he doesn't have any meter, but he does still have Terror Charge. That's always the scariest
1988?
thing about Nightmare Soul Charge, is that he's effectively in Soul Charge once his Soul Charge ends.
Oh yeah.
Okay, ends up actually
and more
clutching it out.
grabs.
I think that round is going to potentially be very important, because it
Yes.
still shows Steller to himself that what he is doing is effective, just like it was before.
Okay,
the
now
incident
Ben's
we will
dodging.
not
Yeah,
talk
it's just
about.
like very simple stuff, right?
Yeah.
You grab and then you do vertical, and if that doesn't really work, you change your timings, but you do exactly the same. But okay.
The 2-way ends up getting jammed out that time around. That kind of stinks for Ben. Oh, trying to go for that
no
ring out.
Punish. AGA.
You can
Okay,
tell he's not going to
we've
get hit by
seen
that
Ben
again.
do okay. Yet again, 2K's
This is
blocked
such a long
into
road.
full crouch.
We've seen him do this before, but it's a really long row. Can you do it twice? Is Steller
Yeah,
this anti-clutch? Is this gonna be it? Oh, thank
nice
God.
jump, okay.
Sheesh
Okay.
Louise.
That was pretty close.
Yeah,
to,
it was very
like,
scary, dude.
Starting worrying. Okay, nice grab. Nice
2-2-B
2-2-B.
probably.
Actually, against Nightmare, probably pretty good move. You can punish it.
Yeah, anything
who
that's
cares?
minus 12 is fantastic against Nightmare. That's definitely the way to go. Ooh, just jamming out those armor moves. Is that a wall? It is.
Yes.
So he gets
That's
much
pretty
more
nice
damage than I think he deserves, and yes, he ends up getting it.
into a crazy OK because he's still in soul charge, but he doesn't have meter now. Okay.
Yeah, I knew you were what you were about to say, and like
Yeah,
as Yoshi was about to go into the animation, I'm like, oh, Twice is gonna eat his words immediately.
Yeah. I'm not. Oh,
Oh
no.
man, that's so close. So much spaghetti happening right now, but it's important to note that oh no, this 2A is just not working anymore. What happened? It was working before.
Yet again, I think Ben is trying to confirm the second hit. Oh,
Okay, well, there you have it. He just jammed a 3B right in Ben's face, and Ben was not able to pan out. But really solid set from both. But fantastic comeback from Ben. That was kind of insane.
That was fantastic. Yeah, huge shoutouts to Ben for all those crazy comebacks that he managed to, orchestrate.
Your
It's-
reward is you play against Blue.
Yeah.
Arguably the best American player in all of Soul Calibur 6 history.
Hey, you choose, Joe as your ace. You had a lot of Aswell practice, I hope.
There's just such different... I really feel like Joe and Blue could not be more different in terms of how they play. Aswell,
Not at all.
honestly.
Yeah, it's just like...
The last time we saw Blue play, he was playing against Incendiate. And so was Zhanghua, so it was probably a bit different. But, like, the amount of time he spent in Axe was, like, virtually nothing. We only saw him in Sword and Spear. And so I'm curious to see if he ends up doing this in the same way. Because I would feel like Axe... I still feel like Axe is obviously the strongest weapon that Aswell has. I feel like they basically nerfed everything else with this character to the point where, like, Axe is really, like, the main go-to still. But, is that the way to go against Nightmare? Or do you do more spear stuff? Because, like... What is full crouch 1B is -14, so he can still punish it, but he can't really punish 1A, can't really punish full crouch 1A. So I feel like, Spear could definitely have additional applications that it doesn't, tend to have.
It all depends on, like, oh, that was a huge call out with the crouch grab. It all depends on where are you going to. Actually, talking about Spear and 1A, maybe he can crouch grab that.
He could, yeah, if he reads it, for sure.
If he blocks it as well.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Yeah, depending on the distance, I guess. But what I was trying to say is that Aswell is the character that allows you to play both small and big.
Yeah.
And his small is pretty good, and his big is pretty big.
Yes, the only weakness is that he can't do both at the same time.
Yes. And the thing about, Bluegod and Joe is that Bluegod has a lot of confidence in his small play.
Yeah.
And
he's a significantly more small play type Aswell than we typically see.
Yeah. And it's just like, I definitely feel like that if he starts losing, that might be, nice whip punish, might be time to go for a big play, but so far he's doing pretty small.
Yeah, I mean, I really feel like that's just typically how Blue likes to interact, and it makes sense. Overwhelming a slow character, the slowest character, with a variety of small moves, rather than trying to, like, just go chunk for chunk with them, I think it makes sense, yeah.
Yeah. That was a nice sidestep on a Stellar's part. Okay,
well, this round was all Steller, but we've seen Steller in these spots before.
Oh, no.
Okay. It ends up working out.
6xB, getting round counter, getting a perfect.
Yeah, Aswell's pitiful sidestep definitely becoming kind of a big factor in a lot of these situations, where Stellar's just running up with a vertical and Blue's just like, well, so that.
To be fair though, Nightmare sidestep is also kind of meh.
Yeah.
And I feel that is also pretty important in case of Aswell matchup, like how good your sidestep is.
Boy,
Whiffs,
Aswell was out of there. Aswell was across the screen.
Oh yeah, he was not there at all. Okay, 6-6 kill, and that should be it.
The captain securing the first game. Is Steller gonna do this? This is rough. This is a rough road to go down. I would imagine, well, what does Blue want to do? Does he want to keep this kind of stage? Does he want to be able to ring the opponent out, but also the fact that Nightmare's ring outs are probably better? Does he want to deal with that, or does he want to just keep it in a situation where he gets to just do neutral? I mean, it's Blue, so we're definitely going to see a lot of adaptation here. I wouldn't be surprised to see that it ends up reversing, but still, it's a rough road.
I definitely like what I'm seeing right now with Blue taking his time, just trying to think about what happened, and what's up. Okay, he's actually typing in the chat. Feels like the connection is not that good.
Ah, so we're looking at potential parsec issues, in which case, yeah, if at all possible, we'll try to get Sabandeus to come round. What happened to the test beforehand? I don't know what to tell you, Boom. Only 2 members of each team ended up showing up for the test beforehand.
What's up, Boom? Hello. Yeah, Okay, Sabin Deus is here.
Yeah,
Shout
so
outs to
maybe if
Sabin.
Sabin Deus is able to just rehash any of the sort of settings to maybe see if it's working. He could also potentially just restart his Parsec connection and do it again. There's a variety of different little tidbits that we can do to maximize the kind of quality. We have a little bit of time.
I feel like we've been fairly fast with it.
Yeah, it's up to Boom. Whatever Boom wants to do with his own event is totally fine. Boom, obviously if you wanted to come into the chat and you also want to describe what's going on, if there are other things that are going on behind the scenes and stuff like that, that's totally fine too. I am merely a vessel for something like this to occur on stream.
We were supposed to have a team battle yesterday. My team didn't happen, which is fine. There was like some issues, but one thing that we kind of joked about with my team for no reason is that it would be cool if we can get even more player in my team. Like if I would just like go in a Twitch chat and it's like, hey, does anyone want to play on my team? And be like, yeah, you're now part of a team. You're not necessarily playing in the big league, but you're like a second Get Scoop team.
Right.
That you get to practice with us. And like they have NBA and they have like what they call as a Gator League, which is like upcoming players. Yo, what's up?
Hi.
Hello,
I'm just
Boom.
Hi. This is right now. Every starting Parsec, if it still feels like shit, you just gotta play.
Sure, we'll just do like a real quick fix. We'll see if it works out, and if not, we'll continue on. This isn't the playoffs. It's not like, the most disastrous thing in the world.
Yeah, I just, next time, the beforehand thing is there for a reason.
Yes,
so
I start the stream a good amount of minutes beforehand. People do technically have the opportunity. I know it's West Coast for Blue and a lot of Florida Man's team, so it's always potentially difficult for people to get up before noon. Heaven forbid. But I'm getting the impression this is actually a match now.
Yeah, it does look like that.
He's being a good sport about it, so I'll leave you all to do.
Blue, I appreciate it, and thank you, Boom, for coming on to let us know. But yes, we tend to try to create a little bit of an opportunity for people to get used to the server beforehand. But in any case, we've got Blue versus Steller in the second game.
I mean, like with a Parsec, you also have an option for a quick button check beforehand, especially if you ever had issues before. Oh, oops. Okay, it's actually taking this round.
Yeah, he ended up doing a perfect combo. I appreciate the fact that he did 6BA rather than like 6BB for the better Oki, just because it's like, alright, I just need this amount of damage, and it'll take a lot longer. So, there we go.
Yeah.
I wonder if there was
block.
ever a conversation for Blue to potentially go Grow. Because I think Grow actually does quite well against Nightmare, and it is another character that he plays from time to time. I don't know if it was ever in his own head about like which character he would choose here, but okay, it looks like Blue is just bulldogging it, and he's gonna potentially just win this second game mighty fast.
Yeah, I feel like Blue is trying to play a bit bigger than before, and it actually, works out. You do have to play big against Nightmare sometimes. Not, I wanted to say nice, but there's nothing nice about the Axlow, but good call out. Steller is a bit, he seems a bit lost, but I hope that 3B just...
Yeah, but then every once in a while he just he just runs up and does a 3B, and it's like, oh, Jesus, okay then.
Nice sidestep into pretty good damage.
Ooh,
nice RI.
That's not going to do it yet. He actually doesn't get a lot of... That's so good. He ends up stealing the bar on top of it. Was that a... It didn't even say critical edge, so he ended up grabbing him out of a soul charge activation?
I think he did.
Gee whiz. A grab beating out a soul charge activation. Maybe it was soul attack? But that would have been kind of weird for him to do that.
Immediately into a rematch. Let's see how it goes. So far, Blue seems like he's in the driver's seat, getting all the grabs and all of the correct reads. What's for Oki? 6XB into the huge damage. It's a perfect so far.
Yep.
Yeah,
it really seems like Blue just needed to take a bit of a breather. I feel like potentially the Parsec wasn't the problem. Just the
it might be
overall
okay.
concept of getting used to the server was good enough.
Right. Nice 6-6B punish. 6-6K whiffs.
Second time he's got a 2-2A. This time he actually gets the full combo. It goes immediately into Axe. Okay then, 6-6B on block into Axe low.
6-6B on block into Axe low. I feel like this is something you can do it only against like kinds of like Nightmare and Astro, maybe.
Ivy, Astro, like they're super slow characters.
Yeah, it's just like such a disrespect. Ooh, nice AGA.
Oh boy.
And an Axe low.
Blue is now 1 round away from clinching for his team the victory against Steller OnlyFans.
Steller does have 2 meters. It didn't seem like Soul Charge helped him that much last time. Oh no.
That's so big. Aswell just got a full bar, and this is Aswell meter we're talking about. He ends up winning the reversal edge, so that's mad lucky, but yeah, Aswell Soul Charge is nothing to scoff at.
And I feel like that was so unnecessarily. He kind of confirmed the RE and just did not step it.
Yeah.
Decided to go with the 6DD. Maybe he thought he had a Terror Charge. Oh, nice 3AA challenge into a soul attack. Gets a pretty good life lead. Oh, ducks and gets whip punished.
Oh, if he committed to that drill, that was the round, but instead it's going to be Blue's round, and Blue's going to secure it for his entire team. Only he had that commit. I understand the hesitance. It's tough, but
yeah.
Yeesh and McGeesh. So, fantastic stuff from Blue. Honestly, I can't even necessarily say I could pick out a specific thing that Blue ended up doing in between Game 1 and Games 2 and 3, other than just like he started being an Axe a lot more often, being a lot more aggressive, and I think he just got warmed up a lot better. That's all.
Yeah, it definitely feel like playing a little bit bigger helped out, as well as I feel like he started to getting those like crucial side steps that he might have not be getting in the first game, either because of the lag that he used to have or because of not getting used to the Parsec server. But his movement was much cleaner, and maybe whenever he did not have a confidence in his movement, he just throw out buttons. You know, like 6-6B into Axe low.
Yeah, you might as well bulldog it in that kind of way.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks everyone for playing. Thanks to everybody. Okay, there's the Match Arena link. I was worried that my Match Arena link didn't end up working. But yeah, it looks like we're over $2,000 on the Boominati League. And that's going to be before any of the donations that I ended up receiving once the Parsec server costs are covered. Will be also dedicated to the Match Arena. Any kind of Twitch subs that I get during these kinds of streams, I'll also donate an additional $1 to the Match Arena. But yeah, please consider donating if and when you get a chance, either to the Parsec Fund or to the Match Arena itself. Thanks very much to, well, I guess Florida Man's team. Florida Man didn't have to worry about anything at all, and Stellar's team. So thanks very much to everybody for playing twice a day. Thanks very much for commentating with me. Do you have anything you want to say before I end up tossing the stream over to somebody?
Thanks for having me. Support JJJ, support Boom. They're doing the God's work here, and look forward for my team to play. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, who's your next team?
I'm bound to play Team in Denial next Friday.
Yeah,
that's the plan so far.
Again, thanks very much to everybody who decided to show up for the stream today, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks very much.
Bye-bye.